So you say who I really am is source energy, focused, and a part of me is focused into this physical.
Who you really are is the perspective of source and the perspective of your human personality. That's who you are, because you can focus there or there. You are all of that. You are an extension of source energy. And the closer alignment you have as you are that extension, then the more power you feel, and really the more pure positive emotion you feel too. You are both of those. And you cannot separate yourself. You cannot get so far that you're separate from that. You always are that. And sometimes you're in human form and you are that.
Okay. So as you've said it, a part of me is focused into this physical body, while the greater part of me remains non-physically focused.
It's the same thing as saying, I am an accountant and I also like tennis. There are many facets of who you are as you are here in your human form. And so there are many facets of who you are as you're in your non-physical form. And this personality is one of them.
I'm just wondering, while I'm focused in this physical body, working, what's this non-physical focus?
Focused with you on everything that you're thinking about.
So
focused right there with you,
okay.
With usually a different take on everything.
Yeah.
Always knowing, always loving, never hating, always feeling confidence, never feeling insecure, always with clarity, never feeling confused. When you focus, your inner being focuses with you. But the perspectives may be different, okay, depending upon what you've been practicing or what you've been trained by the people at school that want you to show up on time.
So if I'm focused, and because you've also said where I may focus on unwanted, which creates the desire of what I want.
Which is really, when you focus on unwanted, you're not out of whack with your inner being, because your inner being knows you came here to sift and sort and decide. So your inner being just has a step 5 moment while you do that. Your inner being feels great while you find new things to put into your vortex with greater clarity.
Okay, so it's just a faster, or I don't, because inner being is focused on the wanted aspect.
Your inner being never looks back. That's the difference between you and your inner being. Your inner being never yearns or needs. Your inner being stands in the fullness of all that you have become. Now, feel the distinction. So, as you stand without something you want, let's say without enough money, and you want more prosperity, your inner being already is living the vibrational prosperity. And so when you focus in opposition to what you've asked for, your discomfort is because you've focused away from your inner being. It's not the absence of the money that's causing you to feel bad. It's the denying who you've already become and not letting it come in fully. Did you get that? When you ask, it is given. Someone should write a book. When you ask, it is given. It is yours. It is yours to claim. And when you feel negative emotion, it's because you're looking in opposition while your inner being is looking completely in full embracing of what you've been asking for.
Okay. And I don't know how this relates, but there's something about the wanted, like source of wanted. Something about how inner being and the greater part of me is focused on the wanted or the desired part versus unwanted. So what is the source?
It's not quite like that. You see, because when any of us use the word want in your physical human vocabulary, it sounds like something not yet fulfilled. I'm still wanting for this. But as far as your inner being is concerned, when you ask for it, it became a vibrational reality, because you sifted through the physical environment and through the ethers and identified a desire for it, and it became, and your inner being became it as it became. So now the cooperative components to it are all being gathered, and so it exists as a now reality. But when you look too soon for the manifestation of it, so you deny the existence of it vibrationally, it's your denial of what you have become that causes your negative emotion. We've never said that more clearly. Did you hear it? When you ask for more of something, whether it's a relationship or more money or a different car or no matter what it is, when you ask for it, there is a part of you that now is that. In other words, now you are the person with that. Now you are the consciousness with that. You can't separate the money that you are asking for from you, the holder of the money that you are asking for, because your experience caused you to ask for, you didn't ask for money that you're going to bury in the backyard and be apart from, although some people do that. You're asking for the prosperity. So the whole package has become. And then when you take score and you say, well, it isn't here yet, it's not in my bank account yet, now you're denying something that you already are. Can you feel that? It's like not letting yourself be something that you already became. And it's because of a flawed premise. We get it. Humans think that the only prosperity that you really own is that which is in the bank, that the bank agrees with, or that's in your hands, or that other people can see. You're not taking credit or score of your vibrational reality. And so it's important. We got to lay that basis first before any of this makes any sense. So when you feel bad because you don't have something you want, you're not missing on the thing or the person or the money. What you're missing is the you that you created with it. It's the you that your life put into being. And that's hard for you to hear. Someone new to this would be looking up here thinking that there's a crazy woman talking with you, because we're telling you that there's something that exists that you can't see. But you've got to accept that there is a vibrational premise or a vibrational beginning of all things that you are going to see. You've got to accept the reality that these vibrations are turning to thoughts, and that these thoughts are turning to things. And you're up so close to it. You got here and there were things to see, and there were things to smell, and there were things to hear, even though you were feeling, because those around you weren't talking about you creating your own reality in that way. So it took a little while, but it didn't keep you from creating your own reality. You still explored the contrast. Nobody needs to know this in order to fill your vortex full of things and then find a happy moment and let some of it in. That's how most of the world is living, and that's just fine. Life is set up in a way that causes the expansion and the evolution, and it works just fine. You can't stop exploring contrast. You just can't. You live in it. And you can't stop evaluating at all levels of your being what your preferences are. You're born to do that. And therefore you can't stop causing the universe to expand. And better said, you just can't stop your expansion. You just can't stop it. You could not understand it and not acknowledge it, but you can't stop it. So you are constantly becoming this person and this person. And the way you feel, the mood you walk around in, has to do with how conscious you are of this non-physical part of you and how deliberate you are about choosing the thoughts that align you with it. So do you say uplifting things or do you say downlifting things? Do you praise or do you criticize? Do you look for trouble or do you look for upliftment? Do you want to feel good? You have these tools that as you begin to apply them, then, you begin to really feel your ability to direct your thoughts. In the beginning, as we visit with you, as you're sort of catching on to all of this, we explain it to you in the way that we did today, that contrast causes you to create things and you can't see them. But if you will accept that they are there and then get them off your mind and don't try to make it happen, just be as happy as you can be, in those non-resistant moments, you'll get glimpses and you'll start receiving. So if you can separate step 1, which is the asking, and step 3, which is the receiving, then the receiving just gets more and more and more evident to you. And then once you really understand this, once you've got control of your own emotions, which means you want to feel good and you've got the tools to feel good, and you do feel good a good percentage of the time, then what begins to happen is you can deliberately let your mind quiet and let your mind wander, and you can start receiving thoughts about things that are in the process of becoming. And then you get to witness them becoming like you saw them in your mind's eye. And then you've got it. Then you know that there is nothing outside of your ability to accomplish it. Once you show yourself that you wanted it and that you cooled your jets, that you chilled, that you meditated yourself into non-resistant thought, and then the pleasant thought began to come. And then you began to deliberately think about those pleasant thoughts that are coming, so that now your human thought is joining the non-human thought. Your physical thought is joining the non-physical thought. And now the blending of non-physical and physical is happening, and the ecstasy and joyousness that the non-physical is feeling as you are accomplishing that. You're just romping and yodeling and yahooing and achieving and accomplishing and demonstrating. Esther says that she likes to think of herself as a pointer. She just points in the direction of things and they actualize around. That's what it's like. You just identify and don't get in the way. That's your work as creators. You're not human doers. You're beings. And if you will think of yourself as a pointer, and if you will care about how you feel when you point at whatever you point at, now you've got it.
Wow. So that what I saw in that was it's about a personal transformation. So you desire something, but you said it's about who I become as a result of. I can't desire that thing without relatives.
So we keep coming back to money because it's the dominant vibration in the room in terms of requesting. So let's say that life reminds you of that every day. You go to the mailbox, you see something that you want, you see others who are living some of it. So you're stimulated to that desire a lot every single day. And so you've built this massive vibrational reality. You have become this truly abundant, prosperous being. So when you act like you aren't, it feels unpleasant. When you feel jealous about something that somebody has, then you're focused in opposition to that. But when you are feeling appreciation about the delicious meal that you're eating, you're not in opposition to it. Here's a good way of looking at this. We think this is a powerful way to bring everything that we've talked about into very clear perspective. Picture a stick, and let's call it the money stick for now. And on one end of it is all the money that you've been accumulating, which is an enormous amount. And on the other end of it is the absence of that. And when you activate the stick called abundance or prosperity or money, usually that's the stick that you pick up. So here's this stick, and your inner being is always vibrating on the abundant end because you've asked for it and your inner being is there and your inner being understands. And you're wherever you are on the stick. And so just for example, let's say you're commonly on the other end of the stick. Now put this stick down in this pile of sticks. And these sticks are a lot of different subjects. It's the relationship stick, and it's the how I am in the workplace environment stick, and how I am as the parenting stick, and the I have parents stick. In other words, there's just this bundle of sticks that's just enormous because all of the subjects of your life are so varied, so many. So let's say that right now you're focused upon the relationship stick. And let's say that you are in a moment of absolute bliss and ecstasy with your significant other. And so that end of that stick is what's lighted. Now you have access to all the other ends of all the sticks because you're in the vibrational frequency of this end of all of the sticks, and it doesn't matter what the subject is. Or in like manner, let's say that you have plenty of abundance, you're really thriving, but you got some issue going on with somebody, and so you've activated that end of the stick. Now you don't have access to the abundance end of the stick, and it doesn't mean your money's going to evaporate right now, but might as well because you're not feeling any of the benefit of it. You see what we're getting at? And so when you let your approach to life be, what am I doing vibrationally? And you think in terms of always being, or as much as you can, being a vibrational match to this end of the stick, then what begins to happen is that all aspects of your life just begin to rise. Most humans, because you're fixers and because you're actioners, you're actors and you're doers rather than aligners or feelers or aware of the vibrational nature of your being. Most of you find something that you're working on, that you're trying to fix, and use that as your vibrational set point, and then you hold yourself away from all of the other abundance, where if we were standing in your physical shoes, we would do the opposite. We'd find one thing, if there was only one thing to be happy about, and we'd fixate on it until we'd raise the level of all other things. Helpful?
Very helpful.